because it becomes very lively for me. It's a big favor if you can keep the cameras on. So I feel like I'm talking to everyone. And this gives me a lot of energy. Yeah. Because it becomes very lively
Excuse me,
for me.
Sandeep, for
It's a
today's,
big favor if you
but
can
going
keep
going
the
forward,
cameras
definitely.
on. So I feel like I'm talking to everyone. Yeah. Yeah. This gives me a
Because
lot of
I
energy.
think almost everybody in the
Yeah.
class is from really good background.
Because
I've
it becomes
read through
very lively
Excuse
for
me,
me.
Sandeep,
everyone's
for
It's a
today's,
big favor if you
but
can
about me.
keep
going
the
forward,
cameras
I'm
on.
definitely.
very
So
impressed.
I feel like
And
I'm talking to everyone.
that's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
it's always good to
This
have
gives
that
me a
personal
lot
connection.
of
I
energy.
think
And
almost everybody
for
in
me
the
also in the
class
class,
is
it
from
becomes, it feels
really
very
good
good,
background. When I see everybody, it feels very good. Doesn't matter what's the background, whether you have combed or not combed your hair, it's completely okay. It's very important. Okay. And yeah, and whether you wash the face or not, it's like nobody can figure it out. Okay.
I say the same thing to my team in our
Yeah,
team mix. At least keep the video on because
yeah,
nowadays in hybrid environment, half of the times you meet only online.
I see. I see. Yeah, yeah, I think that's the best way. I think most of the how should I say? I mean, if I can very clearly feel them two meetings. One meeting in which there was nobody and only the audio was on, and the other meeting, the people kept the videos on. The negativity and positivity is a very big difference between the two. The one with face has a much more positive uh, you know it doesn't give you stress. Okay. And unless and until you hate the face of a person. Yeah, perfect, perfect, wonderful. Thank you, Pankti.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abhi. Thank you, Divish.
Hi, Sandeep. Today
So,
I'll be on and off because I'm on highway traveling.
oh. Okay, okay. All right, all right, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you, Sanish. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, yeah. In those kind of scenarios, it's okay, but it's okay wherever you are. Just
Thank you.
perfect. All right. So everyone, yeah, wonderful to have everybody in this class. We are 5 minutes late, and I think so. We will continue from where we left yesterday. What we did yesterday was we wrote our first code. First, we wrote it in Jupyter Notebook. Then we wrote it we wrote it in Jupyter Notebook, and then we wrote it on the command prompt. We saved the code in a file, and then we ran it, and then we did it from the interpreter. Okay, so we showed three ways of working with Python, and I will go into more details about how do you manage the project later. But in the beginning, I want to do most of the work in the Jupyter Notebook itself. Okay, in the Jupyter Notebook itself, and because that's I think probably the easiest way. The focus will remain on Python. And if you guys have any questions on Linux or any other topics right now, please let me know. I can address those first and then jump into Python. No questions on Linux or anything? Is Rahul around? I think today Rahul is not available. Rahul is from my other batch. He lives in Australia. It was becoming very hard for him. He was waking up he was attending in 3 a.m. in night, so it was very difficult. So yeah, then I suggested that I move you to the next one. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the relationship with CloudxLab is usually lifelong, even after you finish your course, even after you, and even when you are not in one batch or the another, the relationship is always lifelong. So, okay, now let me start. Okay, and I will just start with Python. I'll start sharing very soon. I'll pause the screen share. All right. Okay. So, yeah. Do you guys need motivation to study Python? Or you all are convinced that you should study Python?
Convinced.
Does anybody has questions like, should we study Python or not? Or, okay. If you guys have a doubt, just let me know, because I honestly believe that learning one programming language is the most important thing. And I mean, I can just walk you through my standard presentation, but I'll just quickly skim through it just as a formality, but I'll focus more on the coding. Okay. I don't make you yawn. I don't want to make you yawn in this. Okay. So the programming is not typing. Okay. When you think about coding, you should think about writing poetry rather than typing something. Okay. There's a difference between a typist and a programmer. And when people these days, somebody told me that, do you think we should need Python? I mean, NVIDIA CEO said that in public, saying that people don't need to learn Python, right? People don't need to learn coding. He said that. Okay. But my point is that his entire website, if you go there, see the job section, every job requires experience with coding. Okay. So to build AI, you need to have engineers who understand code. None of the managers that I've had in the past, or the people who worked for me, all the people who did not know coding at all couldn't imagine what it means by various things, right? At InMobi, one of my program managers came to me saying, hey, Sandeep, can you explain to me what's the difference between data massaging versus data cleaning versus ETL? Okay. And I said, dude, you need to just learn coding. Sit with me. I'll teach you some coding. And then you'll be able to figure out that it's all just, different pieces of Python code, and that's it. Okay. So my suggestion is that no matter where you are, everybody should learn to code. And I honestly believe, and I remember my time when I went to college, and I thought coding was like just, telling the steps and all of that. But when I saw people solving hard problems such as chess, I couldn't really figure out how to do it. And that's when I realized that the main problem that I'm having is I do not know how to code. So I started just coding. Just that was the first thing. And I went to I went to this one like computer course. One person was running a computer course, and he made me do. He started teaching me what is software, what is hardware. This is Windows. This is that, and then he gave me a Paint, Microsoft Paint, and asked me to keep on drawing for like an hour. And when I told this to my senior, he was laughing and he said that you don't need to learn any of that. All you need to do is just learn to code. Okay. And that was one of the best pieces of advices I got in my BTech first year, second semester. And I decided not to go home in first year of college so that I can practice my coding. And in second year, my onwards, people thought that I have this amazing brain because I'm able to solve hard problems. But reality was that I had practiced a lot. Okay, so there is no such thing as that some people are more capable to code, some are not. There's no such thing. Everybody can code, and everybody should learn to code. Okay, and there are a couple of constructs that are difficult to imagine without knowing coding. Okay, you will see that very soon. It's common sense. It just like doing any exercise, right? You become fit. Similarly, the more you code, the more you become familiar, the more you will be able to convert your thoughts into code, and that will be the primary purpose. Okay, and I mean, if you look at carefully, whether you are designing a reinforcement learning algorithm, okay, or you are coding tic-tac-toe, both of them are similar in nature. And that's a beautiful part about it. If you, when you go, towards the end of this class, when we study how do you design a program or design a system which can which can behave like human, you will realize that it's essentially very similar to in approach like the way we are uh, building simple code like recursion. I'll talk about recursion more as we go ahead. And you like deepqlearn, one of the most common algorithm that people use in reinforcement learning. That deepqlearn is basically a recursion approach. Recursion is a thing that you learn as part of the coding. Okay, so everybody should learn. And I mean, if anybody has doubt about, should I learn coding or should I not, please feel free to speak up. And I mean, you should not have at all a doubt about it. Okay, no doubt about it. And the main question that many people actually roam around is, will I be able to learn? And I can guarantee that yes, you'll be able to learn, provided you give the time. Okay. All right, so yes, computers want to be helpful. Basically, it's just a bunch of instructions, and we are manipulating electricity to get our things done. Okay, and yes. All right, people versus programmers. The users use the computers, people code the computer, they build the apps. And that differentiates everybody. Now, as of today, here is a secret success idea to all of you, okay? In case you really want to be, be successful. And here is the idea. Pick one of the top 20 mobile apps from Android App Store, or one of the apps from Apple, top 20 or top 100. Out of top 100, pick the one that you can build. Okay, build it and publish it. Okay, just change the name, have a little bit, don't just copy it as is, just change the color, change the things, and publish it like a game. You like to play Ludo? Create a Ludo and publish it. And trust me, that'll make you much more successful. Okay. And out of all my friends, those of the people who did not get a job and they focused on building app, they are the most successful people from my college. And so, and this courage to build things would come naturally when you are comfortable with coding. And the great part about today is that lots of boilerplate things, lots of hard work and labor can be eliminated by utilizing the tools like large language models, ChatGPT. You can, once you are comfortable, but the trick is only those people, like LLM helps those who can help themselves. Okay, meaning if you can code yourself and you understand the code, only then LLM can be helpful. Okay, so yeah. All right. So basically, computer and hardware, they're the users. Users basically users use the apps, and under the hood, computer deals with information and networks, and so on. I'll move on. Why be a programmer? To get some tasks done, to do a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, this is something everybody is convinced about. And the program for humans is like the dance steps. So I will move on. So this is like a program while the music is playing, left hand out and up. So this is in, yeah. But in reality, there is a lot of things going to be in the Python program. Now, here is how a Python code looks like. This code reads a file, finds unique words in the file, and how many times each word has occurred. This is the code. Okay, you don't have to understand it right now. Even if you don't get it completely, it's okay. But this is how Python code looks like. Now, Python code, I'll just walk you through the code, at the surface level. First one is here, we are defining a variable called name, and it will show on the UI, enter the file. Okay, I'll actually just code it slowly so that, I mean, the purpose is not to intimidate you. The purpose is just to make you comfortable that all of these things are pretty simple in general. Okay, so I'm going to my Jupyter Notebook from my lab, clicking on new Python, and I am putting for me as the name now. I'll just change the name to, okay, how do I rename? For me. Okay, now see here, if I say name equals, one of the key things I would suggest all of you, okay, when you look at some piece of code from somewhere, okay, just break it down into instructions. Just start tinkering around the way I'm doing right now. Just pick one line, try to run it, okay, and let's say here, this is the code. This is the code I've copied from here, okay? And notice there are many things going on in this sentence, okay? So here, this is called an expression. This is called an expression. Name is a variable, input is a function, and this is a caption. So I'm saying, show this prompt, enter file to the user, and read the data from the user. So I'm saying enter the file X, okay? Or let's say big.txt, okay? Now, let's just check what is there in name. Yes. So whatever I entered here, it basically printed here, okay? Now, I mean, just to be very, very clear about input, you can basically also launch a console, or, I'm just going to terminal, new terminal. Okay. I just want to keep everybody. Also, I think it's better to just move it somewhere. Move. Can I move it? No. I have created a folder for you. Okay. So this is one. Okay. yeah, this 3rd May. Okay. I'll just move my stuff here. April 2024. Okay, never mind. So I just showed you that input function here. Okay, now I want to show you how it looks from the command prompt. Okay, now here I'm creating a program using Nano. I'll move to a folder called APR 2024. This is where we coded last time. I'm saying read.py. That's the name of my code. Okay, that's the name of the file. And I am doing this. And I'm saying, okay, you entered and here you can also put comma and say name. So it'll print whatever you enter. Okay, so when I run it, when I run read.py, okay, it is asking me to enter. So if I say XYZ, it's going to, okay, it says name XYZ is not defined. Why? Okay, D is not defined. Why? All right, this time it's good. Okay. All right, let's see, let's try to understand what happened. Why does it say this is not defined? Okay, name. Okay. All right. When I'm entering, okay. All right. It says the name. Okay, X is not, name X is not defined. Why? One is good. All right. Okay, don't tell me. All right, let's see. Is there something wrong here? What?
Today I was doing some assessment in that course. There also I found similar things,
I
something
see.
not defined.
I see. Ah, I get it. I get it. So what's happening is we are using Python 2. Okay, I'm going to, set this variable. Okay, this variable. Those who are not aware, I've not tried to set this one. Okay, because of which it's causing it. Okay, can you share your screen? What kind of problem you were facing? Yeah.
Yeah, I will share.
Okay, go ahead. Don't worry, I'll not lose context.
Maybe you continue because I have to go back to my friends.
Okay. All right. So see, your problem could be different, but you can try with this. So what I did was I set this path like this, so that when I type Python, it will go for this folder first and will launch Python 3. Okay. So that's what we did. All right. So whatever I enter here, it basically prints that
So
back.
you're not sharing your screen.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. All right. Okay. So, yeah. So when I say something, when I run this code, it is just printing that file back. Yeah, everybody clear what is happening in this piece of code? It is basically reading the text. Okay, right now, that's it. Okay, yes. All right. Now I'll just close this for a moment and then open it again. I want to move this to the same folder there. Okay. And yes, let me go here. I'll move this last modified. Okay. All right. I will move. Is it possible to move? Okay. All right. Now I am going to move this to April 2021. Okay. Move 2024. Okay. So yeah. All right. Now I'm opening from here. The reason I did it is because I want to, let's say, move one more file here. Okay. All right. All right. Let's pick some file. Okay. Let's so this code that we are writing, it's going to do the word counts. Okay. So I want to put one piece of code that will basically, I want to put one file that contains some text into the same folder. Okay. And all right. I had one file somewhere here. Okay. All right. Yeah, this one. Okay. So this is a good big file. We are going to, I'm just moving this to that folder. Okay. APR 2024. So in this folder now, this is where I'm going to work. So this is the file that we want to count the words of. This is a 6 megabyte file. Okay. If you take a look at this file, this looks like this. Okay. This is the all the books of Sherlock Holmes and so on. So it's basically a little bigger file, 6 MB, not too big from current perspective, but text-wise, it's 6 megabyte is 6 million characters. Okay, 6 million letters. Now, okay, so that's basically it. Moving on, here, let me, yeah. Okay, so this is much more comfortable. Now, here you see the next step, okay? Next step, so first we loaded the file name, the big.txt, okay? Now we are saying we are opening the file, okay? Then we are reading all the text, okay? We are reading all the text from this. Now, this text that you see here, okay? Let's say, I would say, show me first 100 character. So it has basically, this text right now contains all the data that is loaded from the big.txt using open and then read. So open gives us the handle to a file, and then from the handle we are doing the read, and from there I'm just showing you 100 characters. Okay, so I know that I'm going like full program right away. Okay, we will go and break down each part slowly as we go forward. If you have any questions as of now, we can deal with it right now.
Sandeep, handle is simple, a variable. You're defining handle as a variable, right? We can define any name here rather than a handle.
Exactly.
And then open and read, both of them are the inbuilt function in Python.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
If you type handle, it will tell you what is the handle. It shows that it's something called text IO wrapper, something inside it, and actual file name is this, and mode is read, and so on.
Right.
So it's like internal thing. So we basically just open the file, read, and this is the handle. Handle is like, you know, it's like a pipe that we have opened. Okay. Now we said read. Read will read all the text into the memory. Now this one This one is this one contains all the characters, okay, from that file. We can find out the length of this. This is a list of characters, a big list of bunch of numbers. So these many characters it has, these many letters it has. So we read everything into the memory, okay? And right now this split function, so this text contain all the text from the file. When we say split, it basically based on the space or tabs, it basically breaks this into array of words, okay? So you can see words, let me say, show me 100. So colon 100 here means I want to just see first 100, okay? So you can see it broke the project Gutenberg ebook into, for earlier it was basically a big list of letters, or we call that text or string. Now it is a list of words, is a list of word. The is one member and so on, okay? So in Python, when we are defining an array, so we talked about number yesterday. This is a number, this is right, and the one with single quote or double quote, it's the same thing. That's a text, okay? Single quote or double quote is the text, and a list of things is called, I mean, a list. It's basically, you can put anything into this list. You can say Sandeep, or let's say Deepak, and right, and I can say Ranbir. Okay, so this is an array. Okay, this is an array of things. It's a list of things. Okay, now with this you can just say that, okay, give me zeroth element. Zero means the first one. Okay, if you say give me the one, it gives you access to the second, it gives you the second one. When you say two, it gives you the third one. Okay, also you can change it. You can say array2 equals, you want it to be capitalized. Okay, you want to change it, or yeah. Now the array has changed to Sandeep, Deepak, and Ranbir. You can see R capital. Okay. All right. Am I making sense? So this is right now the words. Yeah.
This array, can we have different types, like in types as well?
Yes, good question. Very good question. So array can have anything in it. That's a beauty of Python. You can actually just say number or float. Okay. So you can see. So it is completely okay to have array elements to be any number, anything.
And
Okay.
also,
So
if we run this, this is like inside the Jupyter Notebook, but if we run this in the console, do we have to import any libraries?
No.
These are all inbuilt.
If you have to import something in Jupyter Notebook, that you
No.
will have to import there also.
Okay, same. Okay.
Yeah. So it's essentially what this Jupyter Notebook has done. In the backend, it has launched this thing. This Python that you see here is basically taking input from you and giving output. Same thing in the back. This notebook has also opened a terminal for itself. And whatever you're putting in the text box, it's going and putting it in the terminal, and that terminal is giving the answer. Got
This
it?
is serving as a UI. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a UI. Jupyter is just a UI. And they call that terminal that they are running, they call it kernel. They keep the kernel running, and you can kernel interrupt. If, let's say, your code is taking too much time, you can interrupt, or and so on. And you can shut it down. And so it basically is like a web app that has opened the terminal for you in the backend, and it's typed that Python command there, and whatever you're typing, it's just taking it and running it there and giving you the outcome. Okay, that's all. Nothing. There's no not too much of secret here. Okay.
In the console, when you type Python and when you get that double greater than sign, how do we go back to the root directory again?
Yeah.
Because I
So let's say you're here, you typed Python, you started working and you checked things. Now you want to go back. So either you say exit, okay, or right, let's say you're here, and if you want to clear the screen, you can press Control and L. Okay, Control and L. Okay, and if you want to exit, in Unix, one of the things is Control and D. Okay, Control and D, all press it once. Don't press it twice, otherwise you'll come out of this terminal also. Control D means end of input. Okay, end of input. Control C means kill the process or terminate the process. Okay, so you can either press Control D, Control C. You can also press Control C here, right? You see, it says keyboard interrupt. It's saying, but it can't exit. So, okay, or you can just say exit. All right, perfect, perfect. And
Here one question. The array is of now any type instead of any string type or integer type. So how would I see that the type of the variable is?
yeah, so you can always check the type using type. Okay, so the type is just list. Okay, inside list, if you say type of array 0, it is a string, right? And then if you say type of, let's say 0, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Type of element 3, it is int, correct? I'll just keep it open. And type of this is 3, and type of 4 is a float. Got it?
No. My question is, see, entire the data is Sandeep, Deepak, Ranbir 10, 14.5. If I consider entire thing, it is a type of any. It's not a string. It's not an integer. So,
Correct.
I mean, how where I see that the type is any? What is the command to see the type? That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Yeah. So here, that's a very beautiful thing about Python. Python doesn't have a data type associated with an array per se, okay, or list. It just have a list, okay, and that also means so the list does not have any other data type. Unlike like C, C++, Java, where you always have a associated data type, right? So the type of array is a list. Type of the 0th element of array is a string. Type of 3rd element of the array is int. Type of 4th element is a float. Okay, make sense?
Yeah.
So Sandeep, we don't need to be define any data type for array, right? So we can then we can give any input inside the array being as an a list.
Yes.
Okay.
Now that's actually, once I was earlier, when I was teaching the Hadoop and Spark, when at Amazon, just after Amazon, when I started, no big data before CloudxLab. So some people requested that why don't I give them a Java course, okay? And I wanted to give them a hello world of Java, and that hello world was, I had like 20 lines. You had to define class, main, method, this and that. And I found that to be very annoying for any new learner. Okay. Any new learner would start, thinking of coding as typing rather than solving problem. So here, the beauty about Python is you don't have to do so much of things with respect to the data types. And in a way, it's a very useful thing. Okay, once you become expert, then you can deal with data type. You can also keep on defining those things. And honestly speaking, with respect to the joy of coding, since the day I have discovered Python, I have not gone back to Java, though I have been really, really good Java programmer. I have designed the Java class loaders. I've designed the libraries in Java, but this has been a big thing. So you will enjoy, all of you will enjoy Python because of, very simple syntax and no data type annoyance. Okay, no data type annoyance.
When we assign this array, like in the line number 17 you have assigned. So if we assign opposite data types, how does it work, like integer to
Okay,
a
good
string?
question. Good question. So let's say we have this array, right? And I would, okay, right? I'll just copy this again and show you. Okay, so imagine that this is the array that contains these 5 ones. Now I want to change the first element to say 20. Okay, so I'm assigning, the equal means assignment. So I'm assigning 20 to the element, 0th element in this array, which is this one. Okay, now if you see, it has become 20. And the type here, the type of array 0 had changed to integer. Okay, let me go up, and before this step, okay, type of array 0, I'll rerun it. Okay, and right now the array is this. Okay, type of array 0 is this one. Then I changed right now it is a string. Then we changed 0th element to this. It got changed. The type also became integer. Okay, everybody okay? So variable, when we are defining a variable, we basically give it a name. Variable has a name and it has a value, and internally it also figures out what is the data type of that variable. Okay, and basically in other programming languages, if you first define a variable's type, saying this variable will hold integer. In case of Python, you don't have to define it separately, that the data type of this is integer or something. Whatever value you want to assign, that variable can hold. Now, that's a powerful thing. Powerful thing as in, a variable can hold, what all things can it hold? Number, right? Number can be integer or float, decimal number, integer number, it can hold them, right? Then it can store string. Okay, I'll just put it nicely. Int, float. A variable can be can hold any of these kind of types of data. It can also hold a list of any of these things, list of int, float, string, or you can define your own data type. Just like list, you can define your list of any other things that you want to define, like a customer is a data type, for example. You can do that. And now what you can also do is you can have the function as data type. Okay, when we defined a function yesterday, right? When we defined a function yesterday, okay, you remember the read function, like input function we just used, input function? We can say my input equals input. Okay, this is just another variable being assigned to another variable. And then I can use my input like this. Okay, so, right? So the very simple part is that function is also a type of stuff. Just like you have integer, you have text, you have decimal numbers. Similar to that, you have the function. So you can also assign function like this. Got it?
Here, like, there's no limitation on, I'm comparing it with C#, like there is implicit data type conversion over there. So
Yeah.
here there is no limitation like int to string or string to list. Suppose in the array, if you assigned as an integer
Yes.
to string, but
Yes.
I could have assigned it a list, I could have assigned it a function. So is that possible in
Yes.
Python?
Yes. Good question. Very good question. Very good question. Let me just take a step back. Let's say you define a number as this 1, 2, 3. Correct? Now, this is a string. Okay. If you check, the type of num is a string. It's not number. Why? Because there are double quotes, or you can also put put double quote and single quote, right? So you can say single quote, let's say Sandeep, is same as double quote in Sandeep. Okay, so you can see double quote and single quote are the same thing. Double equals means I'm comparing the two. Okay, I'm checking if this is same as this. So single quote or double quote is accepted in Python. Now the type of num is a string, not a number. Now, if you try to say num equals num plus 2, meaning increase the num by 2 and put it into number back, it is going to throw error. Okay, it says must be string, not integer. Okay, so you cannot add a text with a number. Okay, because it's a text inside, so it can't work like this. Okay, but if you are, let's say, putting this, which means you have converted this into a text, then number becomes 1 2 3 2. It get appended to it because it's a text, not a number. Making sense to you?
Yes,
Okay.
Sandeep. Similar to
And,
C#.
and there, what you have to do is, you have to say, if you want to convert this number, okay, you might have to say, let's say, call int, okay, you have to call int. So now, if you check type of my num is integer, value of my num is 1 2 3 2. So it converted this text into a number. Am I making sense?
Yes, Sandeep.
So can we restrict the number of digits when we define the integer, that it can store only 2 decimals, or the maximum value can only be 0 to 9?
It is, yeah, you can do all of that using if-else conditions. Okay. So you can, but you can't have like a custom data type. Like in C, C++, you have custom data type where you can define a data type with 2 bits or 3 bits or 4 bits. That you don't have the option. Okay. I hope.
How is
So
this working? I mean, how like C++ and all, they create like proper memory allocation things are going on.
Yeah.
So how here it is going kind of, I am creating one string type, then again same variable. So is this kind of pointer type? Num is now pointed to something.
Yeah. So num
Can
is
I,
a pointer to this text, correct?
okay, then how deallocating when num is referring to another pointer, then it will deallocate another previous location kind of.
Yeah. So here when I say num equals num plus 2, 2 was a string, so it got concatenated. So in case of Python, if you say something like this, Sandeep plus Giri, it will concatenate the two. Okay. So similarly, here it has previous value was 1 2 3 and it appended 2, and then the number became 1 2 3 2. Okay, and then what we did was we converted into integer using a function called int. Int converts the convert this thing into a number.
Yeah. So no, I am saying if num is num equal to 1 to 3, next time I am doing num equal to 1.2. So 1 to 3, that memory for that one memory was allocated.
Will be gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So if I say num equals 1 2 3, right? Let's say the num equals to 12, then that is gone. The old one is gone. Okay. That's overwritten. Okay. Let me. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. No, actually, so same memory. It suppose num was pointing to some location, some location ABC. In that location, we have written 1, and now we are writing 1.2. So 1.2, it requires more.
Yeah. So it will allocate a new thing and delete make the old one.
Reference.
Yeah. So good question.
Okay.
So I'll just take a bit of digression. So I think you have a point. So you are saying let's say we are saying num, good question, very good question. Num is pointing to somewhere in the memory, it created 1, 2, 3. Correct. And when we did this, what it did was it created something called 1, 2, 3, 2, a new memory. Okay. Now, this will point, this num will point to this new memory and will disconnect this one. And this will be claimed by the system. Got it? So when we are saying this, num is equal to 1, 2, 3, it basically what it is doing, it's making this num, internally it is putting 1, 2, 3 in somewhere and giving that location a name called num. And when we are saying num plus 2, what it is doing, it's creating a new one. It is not going to put it into the same place.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And good. All right. Perfect, everyone.
One quick question. What is the scope of these variables? Because I mean, at least in Jupyter notebooks, right? If I'm define something in the top, it is available. So how does can you explain?
Yeah. Scopes are usually within the block of the code. Okay. But you can change a variable which is defined outside the block and the scope. When I go to the functions and the loops, I'll show you the scope. Okay. Good. It's a hard question. I think I'll do it when I'm showing the blocks. Okay.
Sure. Yep. Thanks.
All right. Good. Very good question. Very good questions. And yeah. Now there is a question from Vinay. Sorry to be late in answering the question. What does it mean by Python library? Okay. So basically, what you can do is all the work that you do, you can put it in a, put it in a file and publish it on the internet. Okay. There is you can see, I recently launched this simple thing. It's called SQL Shield. It's an open source thing. Okay. Oh. Yeah, here. Okay. So I wrote my Python code in a file and folder. I created this, right? These are the code that I had written and uploaded to the common repository. Anybody who wants to use this piece of code, they can do pip install, right? So this is basically my library. Okay. So Python library is nothing but somebody else's code that you want to use. Like, for example, I want to use math functions. Okay. So I can do import math and I can say math is square root 34. Okay. So it can do so a math is one library. Okay. And similarly, there are many other libraries available. Okay. All right. I hope I answered your question, Vinay. Okay. It's basically someone else's code. Now, question from hers is, how can I retrieve the value 65 from a sublist within the main list? Good question. Okay. Let me just show everyone. Okay. The list is pretty simple thing. The only thing you have to get used to is the indexing. Okay. So this is one list containing other list. And it's very much possible. You can keep on putting list within list within list within list. Okay. So so this element is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So this element is 3. So let's just check. X3 is this list, correct? Now, from this list, this element is 0, this element is 1. So we can retrieve it like this. Got it? So the question is, from this list, how do we extract 65? Okay. And we can also change in the same way. We can say equals 100. Okay. And there we are. So I just changed 65 to 100. All right. Okay. Is this those who are the first time learners of Python, are you finding it overwhelming or you are okay?
Okay, okay.
Okay. All right.
Sandeep, just a quick thing.
Yeah.
So on this notebook, in every line we can paste a block of code as well, or we have to
Yes.
do it one thing, one line at a time.
No, you can type the entire thing. I can actually just,
The entire
take.
function as well, we can put it over there.
Yeah. I can actually just copy paste the entire thing. Okay.
Okay.
And there you go. It did all this calculation. So it found the most popular word in that text. The has occurred 71,000 times. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Very
This
good.
is like this Python is like a scripting language, like
Yes.
similar to Perl, I would say, right? Because I've done
Correct.
Perl
Correct.
long time back.
Yes. It's exactly that.
So Sandeep, I put a couple of questions in chat. Like, can you
Okay.
just take a look?
Can you read it?
Yeah. So my
Yes.
question is, like, suppose I've put some entries in an array. So how can
Yes.
I like add or remove entries from it if I want to remove it or add any new things? So how can I do that?
Okay. So let's say you put x equal to 1, 2. Correct. I can say x append 3 and it will add one more element to it. Okay. And I can say, right, x dot remove 0. Wait a second. Remove 1. Okay. So it will go and search for 1 and delete that. Okay.
Okay.
So that is one. And
okay.
if you want to delete something at a particular index, you can simply say delete. Okay. And there we have deleted the 0th element. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. And I have one more question. Because, so similar to your array or list, I tried creating my list, and I think it created a tuple because it is giving me error that you can't modify any items from it.
Okay, show me.
So
Could you show
how do I like know like when I'm creating a list, it's gonna be a tuple or a list or anything like that?
Yeah. So, okay, can you show me the code? I can.
I'll just paste it. 1 second.
Okay. All right. So we have a
One quick question. Dot remove will remove all instances of one or the first instance of one?
good question. Good question. I avoid using the remove element. I instead use right this. Okay. Let's see. Okay. And okay, let me just change it. Okay. It removed only first one.
The first one.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I hardly used this remove as such. Okay. I usually have used, and also keep in mind that when you are deleting an element, what it does internally, let's say you delete the first element. Okay. So it will shift all the elements after this one to the previous location. Okay. So which means it's a heavy work. Appending is easy. You can just stand at the back side of the queue. That's easy. But deleting an element, it would have to shift all of these little ahead. Okay. So keep in mind that when you remove an element, you have to be mindful of the fact that it's going to be overhead. All right. All right. Go ahead. Now let me see. Now, question from that says is that if we add or remove anything from array, what we can do. Okay, I think you got an idea, Dakshish, that question.
Yeah,
When
I got it.
I'm creating, okay, you were Dakshish, okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay. And am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, you are, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
People hardly
Okay.
pronounce my name correctly, but you got it like on the first go.
Okay. Otherwise, people would call the like Texas, right? Okay. Right, when I try to create similar array, I created two. Okay. So there is another thing called those like I'm just giving you a very quick overview. So here you see the square brackets. Okay, you see the square bracket. In Python, there is something called a round brackets, and we call it tuple. Okay, this is a tuple. It can have 2 elements, it can have 3 elements. Okay, usually people needed a thing that they can't modify. Okay, I'll explain to you why they needed it. All right, so you can't modify a particular element of a tuple. That's the main difference between a list and a tuple. Okay, so when you are passing your variable around a function, that function might change your variable's value, correct? And you don't want that to happen. That's why they have, I mean, there is a nice thing called a tuple. People cannot change tuple easily. It's only defined once, and you can just reassign it. It is definitely possible to reassign. You can say, okay, 1 comma this, and that is possible, but you cannot change a tuple. Okay.
Understood. Thank you.
And the important part is that the tuple is just like list. You can access elements from it. You cannot append to it. You cannot remove from it. You cannot replace an element. It is immutable, unchangeable. Okay, just like text, right? Let's say I say name is equal to Sandeep. Okay, I cannot say I can access individual characters just like an array. I can say name 0 means 0th letter. So a string of text in Python is a list of characters. A string of text is essentially list. Underneath it's like a list. Okay. Yes, Omda?
Yeah, actually, in Python, there is also the concept of arrays.
Yes.
And what we have been discussing about lists.
It's same as Python array. Array or list is same thing in Python.
Okay, so what my understanding is that there is also a concept of array. It is not available by default, but you have to import that package of arrays.
No, that's a
array.
Third party. Let's say there is a library called NumPy, okay, that will study as part of machine learning. Okay, it contains a array which is way more efficient than the. This is way more better than the normal Python list.
Yeah, actually, I was talking about the Python array itself. Python language also has an array. It has to be imported, and then it behaves like other language arrays.
Is it?
For example, it needs to have a data type.
Oh, there must be some library of Python. Okay, there must be some library of Python.
I'm not sure about whether it needs a different library.
You let me know which one are you talking about. But the core array in Python is the list. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now the text that you see here is basically a list of characters. Okay. This list of characters. This list of character is basically not just like normal list. You can access an element. 0 is this, and if you change it to 1, you can access A. If you change it to 2, this is N. If you change it to 3, That's D. You can see. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so P should be 6, is it? Yes, P is 6. All right. Now, just like unlike the normal list, you cannot append to it anything. Okay, there is no, you cannot append to the string. Okay, you cannot change anything. If I want to change the 0th character to capital S, I cannot do that. Okay, notice that there is no special letter or special thing in Python for the for the single character. Single character is also a string, and in Python you cannot change the list then and there. Okay, because that's how they have designed. So you cannot change it, but you can assign to it a new thing. You can say name equal to okay, let's say you want to access 5 right characters from 1 onwards, so you can access this and say, okay, put capital S in the beginning, and now you can say name is equal to this. Okay, so what I did was I said put S in the beginning letter words. When we say 1 colon, which means get all the letters from that position onwards. Okay, and there we have it. All right, so the array So these are going to be very useful. I mean, list is going to be the most common thing. All right. Okay. Any other? A question from Shrish is that if we import math, then we can do advanced math calculation. But what can we do with NumPy? Yeah. So NumPy basically makes it very very important part here. So the list that you see in Python, it is very versatile, very useful, makes your code really, it's very easy to code with. You don't have to define data type. You don't have to do anything. But the only problem with Python's list is that it is slower when it comes to numeric computing. When you have a million numbers and you want to multiply those million numbers with another million numbers, the Python list is slow. That's why people use the NumPy's list. This one is NumPy's array. This one has a fixed data type. You cannot have different kind of data types in the array. It is not as flexible as Python's list, but it is extremely fast. It is extremely fast when we are doing the operations on it. Python's common list is slower because it is more versatile, but the NumPy arrays list is that the array is very fast because it doesn't provide all the operations of list. Okay, it is only designed for numeric computing. Okay, I hope it made sense to you. All right. Okay, so usually this is how the code would look like. Okay, so I was here, I talked about words. Okay, the words is an array. Yes, Nishtha.
Sir, I wanted to ask that when you use the removed code, so you started the element with one only, but when you are using it like with the Sandeep, you are starting with the element 0 and 1. So I was not able to understand.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. This one, right? This one.
No, the above one. Like when you are here using the Sandeep, so the name 5 is coming to that S is 0, A is 1, right?
This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, N is 2.
But the elements are starting with 0, 1, 2.
Yes, correct.
But when you remove the X is equals to 1, 2, 3, and 1, and you use the code X remove 1, so it removed the one element only, not it should be the 0th, or it's not the
No,
0th.
it's the same thing. So good question. So you are probably referring to this one, correct? Here,
yeah,
this,
it removes
right?
the
X equal to 1, 2, 3, 1. And when I say remove, it basically did not remove the position 1. Okay, I think this is better to show you this way. Okay, or let's say okay. I think this way it'll make more sense to you. Okay, so here I am saying remove 1, 3, 1. Okay, let me run it again. I'm saying remove 1, 3, 1. Okay, so it's not the index that I'm providing. I am providing the value here. Okay, value, what value I want to remove. So it removed the 1, 3, 1. Okay, and left only 110, 31, this. But when I said delete, DEL, right? DEL X0, right? There it is removing the element from here. So 0. So here we provide the index. Here we provide the value that I want to delete. Index means the location. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful.
But Sandeep, I think we can also use index while using the remove also, or not?
While using the remove, no, you can't. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me just see. Yeah, You can also press, dot and see all the functions that it has. Okay. So if there is a function append, there is a function clear, there is a function copy, there is a function count, there is a function extend. So append appends a value to an array, clear removes all the elements, copy creates a full copy of the array, count tells us how many elements are there in that. Extend basically takes two arrays and merges them. Okay, extends the current array to absorb the other ones. Okay, like for example, here, this is my current array. If I say extend and I provide another one, so it has extended this to include all these elements. Okay, I press X, press dot, press tab. It shows me the list of things. Okay, then the index. Okay, I think the index is essentially it shows the first index of a value. It goes and searches for that value and then returns you the first element. So 1000 is existing at first place. 34 is existing at third place, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 is existing at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, yeah, 4 is existing at 4. Okay, so I hope it made sense. Now, okay, now there is very interesting part about it. So I'll also show you something. Now here, there is index. So we talked about extend, index, insert. Okay. So what does insert do? Insert inserts an element at a particular location. For example, I want to insert 1000 into this at say location number 2. Okay. So the 1000, okay, the 1000 was already there. Okay, sorry. Okay, just yeah. So index, let's see, what does this method say? It says you give the value and you put the start and index. Returns the first index of the value. Okay. No. But I was talking about insert. So basically insert object before that particular index. Okay. So let me again start from here. So this is my current list of values. I want to insert, okay. I want to insert 10, let's say at location 1. Okay. Sorry, it should be the other way. I have to say insert at 1, the value 10. Okay, let me again. So I'm saying insert at location. This is my X, 31, 10, and I want to insert say 50 at location 1. Okay, location 1. So it inserted 50 here. You see that? It inserted 50 here. Okay, so I have inserted 50 just before 10. Okay, I hope this makes sense to you. And those who are wondering that I pressed question mark and press shift enter to understand the manual. Okay, it quickly shows the manual. Okay, also you can say help and it shows you the help on that data type. Okay,
so what is the difference between insert and append?
Yes, insert inserts at that position, append appends at the last.
Okay.
Okay, so there is index, insert. Now there is a very interesting thing called pop. Okay, let's say this is your array and you want to just pick the element from the last. So it removed that element 1 and gave you that value. Okay, so let's say let's say this is my X and we are saying Y is equal to X dot pop. So it will take out 2 from here and put it into Y, and that's it.
So why it's taking only the last number from the index?
Yeah.
Sandeep?
Pop is doing that. Pop means you want to remove the element from the last.
Okay.
You're plucking the last element. That's the pop. Okay. And there is another way of accessing the last element. You can say -1. -1 means last element. Okay. Like if your x is this, x is 4, the last element is, so x is this list here. Last element, either you can access it using -1, or you can say x, length of x -1. Okay, how many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total 7 elements. And what will be the index of this one? 7 minus 1, which is 6. That's why I've said length of x -1. Okay, it is both of these things are same. Okay, if you put negative, internally it's going to say length of x minus that number. Okay, similarly, if you, this is your x, right? And you're saying -2. Okay, you are saying -2. Okay, what's going to do is it's going to give you second last element. Okay, which is same as saying length of x -2. Yeah, is everybody on the same page?
Yes.
Any other question? Everyone? A question from Harsh is, how does upper work in Python? Can it be used? Yes, yes. But it can be used to capitalize the first letter. That's the only problem, Harsh. Okay. And I'll just show you that. Okay. So I talked a lot about lists. Lists are the most powerful data type. After the main variables, you will be dealing with list a lot. Okay. The next thing is the function. Function is another data type, and we will deal with that. Yeah.
Sir, can you please explain once again the 149th input?
149th. This one, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So see, this is my x. Okay. And length of x is basically how many elements we have. Correct? I want to, somebody asks you, hey, give me third last element. Okay. What will you do? You will find out total length. Okay. Third last will be, right? So if you have third last will be, how will you find out the index of third last? How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So total 7 elements are there. Correct? And here the elements basically, the last one is at location 1 less than the length. Correct? Because this will be 6, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So length is 7, but the index of last one is 6. Okay. So if you want to access something at the last, what will you do? You will say, give me this. Okay. Right. If you want to access the second last element, you will do this. If you want to say that, give me third last, I will basically go. So total length -1 is this, total length -2 is this, total length -3 is this, total length -4 is this, total length minus length, total length minus total length, which is this, which is 0. Correct? Did I make sense? No?
Yes, yes.
Okay, feel free to ask. If the idea is not clear, feel free to ask again. It's completely okay. Yeah.
Sandeep, just
Yes.
one more thing, like how do we define the two-dimensional list here? Like, is it possible?
Yeah, yeah. Two-dimensional list is nothing but list of lists.
List of lists. So just
Yeah.
you add another
you
list
can,
as an element.
yes.
Like in Java, what we do is we first define the size of the two-dimensional list
No,
and then
yeah, nothing to worry. It's just so simple. That's it. This is my list of lists.
oh. And the size of the other dimension can be different, like it is all flexible.
Correct. So you can have, let's say, first here, the first element is a list. Second element is could be a list of, let's say, this one. Fourth could be a text.
Okay.
Fifth could be
Wow.
a simple number. And sixth could be a tuple. And inside a tuple, there could be another list. Okay.
Okay.
So you can see very easily you can represent really complex values using these lists and tuples and list of tuples, tuples of lists, and so on. You can keep on going as much as possible. Okay. There is no limitation on it.
It's not strongly typed at all.
Not at all. Okay. And you will start to enjoy this and you will be wondering like, why did we actually use that strongly typed language? Like when I come to Canada now, I wonder like, why do people use gears? Okay. In India, I have been driving the gear car for last how many years? 25 years. No, 25 years? No, 15 years. 15 years. Okay. Now I wonder like, why do we have the gears? Okay. So similarly, when you use Python, you'll wonder like, why did we actually define all of that thing in Java? All of the sweat that I have done, okay, just for performance, because Python is not that performant. If it's Java, because you explicitly are saying that I'm going to only keep this kind of data type, so Java is able to do this faster processing. Okay, so but Python is slightly slower, but you won't really feel the impact of it. Okay.
Why is it slow?
Because it's an interpreted language. It has chosen simplicity over the speed. Because it takes like so you won't feel it as a developer, you won't feel it. But when you are doing things like a million iterations or lots of computation, then you will feel it. But for that, you have third-party libraries which you can use, like NumPy I talked about, and so on. They are basically coded in C, C++, and you basically can use them. Okay. And yeah. So I think, but in today's time, if I have to do something, I'll just take the piece of code in Python, ask compiler to convert it into, ask LLM to convert it into Java or whatever, it'll do the job. Okay. And I don't have to, I mean, I remember, I have, the kind of code, like you can write things in like 10 lines of code in Python, and you will end up writing so much of code in a strongly typed language like Java or C++ or something. Here you can just do everything very quickly. Like for example, calling the functions of a functions as argument. You can just do it like immediately. So it's pretty simple. The other thing you will notice here in this piece of code that we talked about, you see this code. So one is these statements that I've talked about. Then there is something called a dictionary. Okay, dictionary is like a tally. We say that, okay, this is we give the name to each of the contents that we are putting into that. Okay, we'll go into more details about dictionary later, but for now, you can just think of a dictionary like a place where here in list, here when we talked about list today, right? In case of list, we access element based on the index, correct? We say, okay, give me 0th element, give me second element, give me third element, give me fourth element, right? In case of a list, you say that give me the element which the name of which is this. Okay, say for example, this is your dictionary, okay? And I'm saying name is Sandeep, okay? And age is, okay, age is 10, right? So this I can access like, right? I'll just call it a little more, give it more human. So person, I can say name. So it will give me the name of the person, which is Sandeep. Okay. So a dictionary is a collection of key and value, right? Key has to be of basic data type. Okay. Value can be anything. Value can be string, value can be number, and value, and there, let's say, okay, I can say things like, okay. So I can access the things from a dictionary like this, all right? You can just say, person, give me the scores. So I'm saying scores like this, okay? So I'm saying person, name. Instead of saying, give me 0th element, give me first element, here we are referring to these values based on their name, okay? So as if we have given the column names in an Excel sheet that, okay, name is Sandeep, age is 10, scores is this. So I'm saying person name is Sandeep, person age is 10, and person scores of this. So this way, this is a complex data type, okay, whereby you can access things based on the keys, okay? There's a key and there's a value, right? You cannot have the duplicate keys. Let's say if I put the duplicate key name again, okay? So it has overwritten, okay? Let's say I'll just break it to multiple line, okay? So I have broken it to multiple line. I hope it works. Yeah, it works. Now, since if you replace, if you have duplicate names, it will basically override this one. See? Also, if you want to change the age of a person, it's pretty simple. You can just go here and change. That's it. I just changed the person, my age to 56. Okay, and that's it. And my name is still weird, so I'll just change the name of this person to myself. Okay.
So
I don't like 56.
single quote and double quote both have same meaning in Python?
Yes. Okay. So there is a, when I say name is equal to Sandeep, or I say name is equal to double quote Sandeep, they both are same. If I, let's say, compare, let's say name 1 and name 2, name and name 1, they are both same. It says true. So this double equals means I'm comparing the two. So they both are identical. Similarly,
okay. Thank you.
There is a very nice thing called triple quote. Okay. Okay. Triple quote is also the same. Okay. So you can see name 3 equal to name 1. Yes. So single quote, double quote, and triple quote. Triple quote has got very nice thing to it. You can do it like multi-line. Okay. You can do like a multi-line thing. You can say, okay, Sandeep Giri is a person, right? So now this, if you see here, the name 3, basically it has put new lines in it. It means the /n means there is a new line at the beginning. Then there is Sandeep. Then there is a new line at the end. There is Giri. Then there is a new line, the end of the line, that new line that you see, /n. /n means new line is a person and then new line. Okay.
Isn't this, sorry, isn't three these things for comment?
This one, /.
Yeah. No. The 3.
No. The comment is this. Comment is this. This is a comment. Okay. All right. So this is a comment. Okay. The thing is that people use this very often, like this. In any code, you will find the orphan strings written that this code was written by Sandeep Giri. This is like a documentation. Okay. So this is actually defining a variable, but it is not being assigned to a variable. Okay. So nobody like this is not there. So it is a string, but it is orphan string. In the code, you will find it written at the top of the code saying that, okay, this code was, and so on. So it becomes like a documentation thing. So people use it for documentation. Got it?
And the dictionary, we can have like the keys, they can be integer and floats as well, or
Yes.
they have to be strings.
They can be floats. Yes. Good question. Good question. Let's try it out. I will copy this from here.
So it's like hash map, right?
Yes, it's like hash map.
Java.
Yeah. So you can say 23:45. So I can say person, give me 23. So 23 is the key, just like age is the key and the value is 10. Name is the key and value is Sandeep. Sandeep, name is this course and value is this. Similarly, when name is 23 and the value is 45. Right?
And can the value be again another dictionary type, like nested dictionary?
Yes, good question. Yes, you can have another dictionary saying A:B. Okay, so you can
So
see
it makes
person.
multi-dimension.
You can say 23 and it gave me a dictionary, and I can say give me A, it gave me B.
And this
Yes,
can go until any nesting level, or is there a limit to it?
it can go any nesting level as long as you have memory.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So there are a couple of things I keep forgetting. One is that the comment, this is a comment. Okay. And these are strings, all of them. Okay. Okay. All of them are strings. Okay. And you can, yeah, very important things first. Okay. Yeah. Another very important thing is handling the special character. Let's say you have a person name. That name contains single quote. Okay. Okay. So like Sandeep, or let's say John O'Brien. Okay. So that person's name contains single quote. How would you define it? A easier thing is, if you are defining a string, you're declaring a string with a double quote, then you can put single quote inside it. Okay. And if you are having a double quote in the name, okay. Okay. Let's say I want to say that this is, okay. Okay. Okay, let's say this is the double quote. I want to basically, in this name, I want to say this is a double quote. Okay, right? So what I did, I put double quote inside the single quote. So double quote is dealt as if it's another character. It's not the beginning or the end. Similarly, when I put the single quote within the double quotes, it basically thought of it like that. But what if I have to put the single quote within single quote? Okay, what I'll do, I will put a, okay, let's say this is my text, okay? And I'm saying this is, okay, it's going crazy, okay? All right, is a single quote. I want to print this, that this thing is a single quote, okay? How would I do that? Right, this will give an error. It says, oh, it's a here, single quote is started, single quote ended, and then there's another single quote, but I want single quote to be part of it, okay? I want single quote to be part of the text, okay? Because I want to say that or let's say my name contains single quote. What would I do? I would put a slash in front of it, okay? So the text the variable contains this. This is a single quote. You can see that? Just because I have put this slash in front of this special character, it has lost its meaning as a special character. Got it? Okay. Now, I want to say this. Like, what if I want to have single, like I want to display the slash as output. Okay. I want to say slash is this. Okay. And this will give an error because this one actually commented out this one, right? So what do you do in this case? Put a slash in front of it. Okay. So this is a slash is this. Got it? From essentially, if anything you want to comment out, right? Put a slash before it. Even if when you want to comment out meaning you want to, if there is a special character and you want to make its meaning be lost, you put a slash in front of it. Okay. So here, how many characters does it have? Anyone? Okay, let's see. So text, let's say length of text. Okay. 0, 1, sorry. How many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 characters, not 11. 10 characters. Okay. Which means that if you say 9, it should give slash. So it's a single character. It's just while displaying, it is displaying slash before it. Am I making sense to you?
In at least I was trying the same thing. In my Jupyter, it doesn't show 2 slashes, it only shows 1.
Okay.
Ideally, it shouldn't show 2, right? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know why
Because
saying...
one will, yeah, one should be as a escape character, and then the next one should be shown. So at least in my Jupyter Notebook as well as in the Python code console, it is showing only once.
Okay. So if you say print, it shows like this. Okay. I don't know why it's showing 2, but yeah, it is essentially a single character. Got it? Good point. Now, moving on. Everybody is on the same page.
Sandeep, this goes the same with backslash and backslash r and those escape characters as well.
Yes. So if I want to, let's say, print multiple new lines, okay, I can just say multiple new lines.
And what if I want to display backslash n? Again, same, I'll add slash in front of them.
If you want to, okay, you want to, let's say, print, okay, backslash n is for new line, okay, and you want to say that, okay. Now, what we'll do in front of this,
yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I want to say, right, let's say I want to say, okay, gets converted into this, okay? But it again ate up. So what I'll do, I'll just put extra slashes here. Okay, so it says /n gets converted into /n. Confusing? This is same as C, C++, Java, or any other programming language, Perl. Even JavaScript has the same philosophy. Are you with me, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, we can say.
Okay. All right. So I talked about comments. Also, there is a nice thing next in this piece of code. Okay. And this piece of code here that you see, there is a tab. Okay. So once you have defined it like a dictionary here, so let me go start from the beginning. I read the name from the user. User entered the name of the file, opened the file, read all of the text into this variable, then split it such that each word contains, this words is a list of words. Then I created something called an empty dictionary. Okay, this is same as saying this. Okay, curly bracket meaning empty dictionary. Okay, this is same as this. Okay, now what does it have? It has basically created a simple dictionary. Then this is called a for loop. For loop means we can iterate over a list of things. Okay, like for example, if you have an array of things like here, if let's say this array contains these, I can say for element E in array print E. So it basically went over the list, printing 20, Deepak, Ranbir, and 10, and then 14.5. Okay. If let's say my array was, okay, this, and I wanted to print every element, I could just do this. Or I wanted to, let's say, multiply each number and print the 10 times of each number, I could do that. So I'm iterating over this whole array and then running this logic on this. Now here, you will notice something unique about Python, that here we write like for E. E is a new variable, and in means in this list, and then there is a colon. Colon means the for loop has started, and then there is a tab. So whatever has the same indentation, this is called the indentation. Okay, you can have either like 2 spaces or 4 spaces or single tab. Okay, only then it will work. If you don't have the tab, it won't work, because the tab, this indentation or the tab is how Python figures out like what all is a part of this for loop. Like for example, I want to print one dot. Okay, so this one, on every element, what's happening? First, it multiplies the element. So first, it goes over the list. E is 1. Then we are multiplying E with 10 and printing it. And then we are printing dot. Okay. So we are going over the list, printing everything. All right. Now, how does it know that print is inside or outside? Based on the indentation. If you remove the indentation, then print dot will be printed only once. Okay. The dot will be printed only once. Okay. Here, the dot was printed every time. Here, this print was inside the for loop because it has the same indentation. Here, the print is outside the loop, and because the indentation is not there. Okay. So indentation is how Python figures out that the certain part of the code is inside a block or not. Okay. Unlike other programming languages. Here, the indentation is mandatory. Okay, this is what makes Python code really, really easy to read. Okay, so we are going over the list of words, and if that word is found in the dictionary, if it is already added, we increase the count. Otherwise, we set it to 1 here. That's what is happening here. And then once that is done, we are basically, oh, why it happened? Where did I go? Why did it jump like this? Yeah. Okay. And then this happened. I'll go into more details. I just don't want to confuse you right now. And this is how the Python code looks like. You can say there are double blocks here, indentation within indentation, because this for loop has if condition has its own statements. Okay.
So we can't use curly braces to group the statements like we do
We
it
don't.
in.
We don't have. We don't. Yeah, it won't accept it. Curly brackets is for dictionary. Yes.
How do you represent end of a statement, like print? If we are printing a lot of things, so if line is very large, then also we have to go on in the same line, right?
Come again.
Sorry, I mean in other languages we use semicolons, right, for ending a statement line.
Yeah, ending a statement, correct.
Here we can't break it through different lines, right?
You can put semicolon. Right? Like for example, I can say this is right, like this. Okay. So yeah, so you can put that, and the second
line is very large, big line itself.
Yeah.
String is very used.
Like here, right?
Then how it recognize this is the end of the statement or not? We have to go on the single line, right?
No, it is okay. It figures it out. If it is continuing like this, it is okay. You see that? I broke it into multiple lines, okay, and then it worked. Okay. So it's okay. In these cases, it is forgiving. Yeah. If the statement is coming to the next one, it is okay. And yeah, it's fairly smart in that sense. Okay. So one large expression can carry on to the new line. Like when we were defining this multi-array, right? We were defining, where did we define that thing? Yeah, this one. So it is okay. Like if it is a middle of expression, one expression can go up to like multiple lines. It's completely okay. So it's smart in that sense that it doesn't have to, you don't have to explicitly type the semicolon. Okay, it will automatically figure it out. Okay. All right. Did I answer your question? Okay, so that was the okay. That was the that was a brief about the Python code, and I'll go ahead and walk you through this presentation, the one that we have usual. Okay, so this is how the code looks like, and this was a brief overview of everything right away. I'll go into more and more detail.
Just one point. So these presentation will also.
Is it my network or his network?
No, we can't hear you.
Yeah, this presentation will be shared with everybody, if that is your question.
Yeah, that was my point.
Okay, Randy. All right. So we walk through this code. Yeah. Now, a very important part is to understand the architecture of a computer. Okay. So this is how a small computer looks like. This is a Raspberry Pi. It's a small computer. People use it for their home theater systems and so on. For robotics, people use this a lot. Okay. So let's see if you can figure out. Okay. So what do you think this thing is? Anyone?
CPU?
Yes.
Processor.
Processor.
Yeah.
Yes. And okay. So this is how it looks like. And these are the various connectors and so on. Okay. So usual part of the computer is there is a processor. There is a main memory. We call it RAM, random access memory. And then there is a secondary memory. We call it like a disk or a storage. And then there are input and output devices. Okay. For the computer to work or turn on, it mandatorily needs a CPU and main memory. Secondary memory like disk or storage is optional. Okay. Similarly, input-output devices like keyboard, mouse, all of those are again optional. Okay. So the CPU reads, when we are saying x equal to 1, that variable is being defined in this memory. So CPU is taking that instruction from you and defining those variables in this memory. It's basically turning on those LEDs inside the main memory. Okay. These are the standard things that you don't need to do, right? If you do if x is less than 3, the CPU will read that instruction and check the variable value like x is 3 or less than 3 and then print it. Okay. So the main memory is all, basically the bits. Like here is one, these are the bits, and you turn it on and off just like as if they are LEDs. Either they are on or off. Okay, so but it's a binary representation of numbers. Okay, so when CPU essentially takes instructions from you, executes them, and because of executing all of that, it kind of generates a lot of heat. This is how old hard disk system looks like. Nowadays, hard disk has been replaced with something called a SSD, solid state drive, which is approximately 20 times faster than the magnetic hard disk. Okay, this is the look of a magnetic hard disk, right? Now, Python is a programming language, which is an interpreter, and basically programmers communicate with it. So it is inspired from a person, from a TV series called Monty Python, and Guido van Rossum, who was part of other programming language design, he created the language. Now, okay, so early learners, right, basically, all right, we need to learn Python language so we can communicate our instructions to Python. This is all common sense. Okay, right. This I have already talked about. These are some of the questions that you might ask, right? So a great thing about Python is it's very much readable. The code is very much readable. The code is very much reusable. It's maintainable. It has classes, objects, and complex systems. It can handle. It has functional programming language. I'll talk about that very soon. And there is a developer productivity. It is pretty, since there are dynamic types, you don't have to define the data types. It is pretty easy. The people are able to code easily, quickly, and therefore it's easier to maintain a Python code. So readability and development productivity is a very important thing. Program portability is again another very important thing, meaning that the code that you write for Windows will work as is on Linux or Mac. Okay, there's a lot of libraries to support things. CloudxLab.com runs on Python. It's a Django platform. Okay, and so there are lots and lots of libraries available for various kind of things like NumPy, Scikit-Learn. For all the machine learning and AI, you have all the libraries available, right? So you can integrate with all other programming languages very easily. And the coding in Python is more of a joy or more of a pleasure than the chore. Okay. Yes, it's a scripting language. And the downside of Python is only one, which is its speed of execution is slower than C++. But I can assure you that once you become very comfortable with Python, you can pick up any language anytime. You just have to get comfortable with one language in your life, and then rest of the things you can handle very quickly. I took long time to learn C++, but afterwards, learning any new language is hardly a week's time. I can just quickly switch between languages. Okay. And again, more than Python, we will focus on thinking, converting thoughts into code. Okay. How would you solve, let's say, how would you solve tic-tac-toe or Rubik's Cube, for example, right? How do you play chess? So learning to solve problems is something that we'll focus more after we are done with basic syntax of Python. Okay, once everybody is comfortable with basic syntax of Python, then we'll start slowly, gradually moving into writing complex code. Okay, so everybody has to be, hands-on with it. So, I mean, more than Python, the reason I chose Python and I actually like the fact that everything can be done with Python is because I don't want you guys to lose interest. Okay. I want you guys to, those who are for the first time learning, you guys should learn to solve, if you learn to solve a problem in Python, you can quickly shift and code it in C, C++, Java, C#, in any language. Okay. It's just that you have to get used to a programming language. Okay. And Python is easy and quick. So I think this is a wonderful combination. Okay. Everybody is actually using Python in simple words. Okay. And there are success stories. You can take a look. I can do everything with Python. You can do system programming. You can do GUI. You can do internet website building. You can do database programming. You can do integrations. You can do all sorts of numeric computing, scientific computing. You can build games. You can manipulate images, videos, generative AI, this, that, everything with Python. Okay. So why Python, not R for ML? Because Python is something that can do everything. Okay, so if you learn Python, then you basically can do anything. Unlike R, which is only designed for few things, and it is not good investment of your time. Second, I want you to convert thought into code. Therefore, it's not only for data exploration. It's much more than that. Okay, so there are, so you can use, we have already done all of this. Okay. All right. And we talked about elements of Python. There are vocabularies. We'll talk about this more. Okay. Now. Okay. Yeah. Today I will have to stop it now because there is some important thing I have to do. Okay. All right, any questions for today? We will carry on with Python in much more details. I would request everybody to spend time on the course, spend time in solving lots and lots of questions in the course. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandeep.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Sandeep.
you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so no questions. Bye-bye. Have a good day.